Your diesel truck could last over 500,000 miles or blow up before it even hits 100,000. And the difference? It's the everyday habits behind the wheel that are silently destroying your engine. Most diesel drivers have no idea they're doing anything wrong, but one small mistake repeated over and over can wreck your turbo, clog your injectors, and burn out your fuel system. These bad habits don't just cost performance, they cost thousands of dollars in repairs. In this video, I'm exposing 11 common driving mistakes that kill diesel engines long before their time. If you own a diesel truck, SUV, or workhorse, this is the video you can't afford to skip. Let's get started. Mistake number 11, skipping regular oil changes. Skipping regular oil changes is the #1 maintenance-related mistake in diesel ownership. Diesel engines run at higher compression and produce more soot and combustion byproducts than gasoline engines. Over time, that soot thickens the oil, reduces its ability to lubricate, and turns it into sludge that clogs internal passages. When the oil degrades, it can no longer protect the engine's moving parts, especially the turbocharger and high-pressure fuel system. This leads to increased friction, overheating, and eventually total engine failure. Some people push oil changes way beyond the recommended intervals, thinking they're saving money, but they're really shortening the life of their engine. Stick to the oil change schedule in your owner's manual. Fresh oil is the cheapest form of insurance for a diesel engine. Mistake number 10, revving the engine when it's cold. One of the worst things you can do to a diesel engine is rev it hard when it's still cold. At startup, the oil inside the engine is thick and sluggish, and it hasn't fully circulated yet. That means critical engine components are rubbing against each other with minimal lubrication. This leads to increased friction, faster wear, and long-term damage to components like piston rings, turbo bearings, and valve trains. And if you have a turbocharged diesel, this habit can destroy your turbo faster than you realize. Always give your diesel a gentle idle for at least a minute after starting. Then drive slowly until the temperature gauge begins to rise. It's the easiest way to extend your diesel engine's life from day one. Mistake number 9, taking too many short trips. Diesel engines hate stop-and-go driving. They're built to run hot and steady, not cold and choppy. When you frequently drive short distances like less than 10 to 15 minutes, the engine never reaches optimal operating temperature. That means the oil stays thicker, combustion is incomplete, and moisture and fuel vapors accumulate inside the crankcase. Over time, this leads to oil dilution, sludge formation, and internal corrosion. The diesel particulate filter also suffers because it never gets hot enough to regenerate and burn off soot. That causes premature clogging, back pressure issues, and reduced performance. It's estimated that around 5% of diesel engine failures are linked to constant short trip driving. To fix this, at least once a week, take your diesel on a 20-minute highway drive to let it clean itself out. It's simple, free, and incredibly effective. Mistake number 8, using low-quality diesel fuel. Not all diesel is created equal. Some fuel stations sell diesel that contains high levels of water, sulfur, or microbial contamination. Using this kind of fuel repeatedly can lead to clogged injectors, failed pumps, and carbon buildup in the combustion chamber. Low cetane rating fuels may also cause incomplete combustion, which leads to poor fuel economy, rough idling, and smoky exhaust. Also, cheaper fuel often lacks additives that lubricate the fuel system and keep it clean. Mechanics across the US estimate that about 9% of engine damage can be traced back to consistently using off-brand or poorly stored fuel. Always buy fuel from reputable sources, and if necessary, use a quality diesel fuel additive to boost cetane levels and protect against water. What seems like a few cents saved per gallon can lead to thousands in repairs. Mistake number 7, using gasoline engine oil. Diesel engines are different animals. They run hotter, build more pressure, and produce more soot than gas engines. That's why they require special diesel-rated engine oils, such as API CK4 or CJ4. Using regular gasoline engine oil for a diesel engine is a big mistake. It lacks the detergents and additives needed to protect against diesel combustion byproducts. The wrong oil can cause sludge, increase friction, turbo problems, and even destroy your DPF system. Always check your owner's manual and use a high-quality oil made specifically for diesel engines. And don't just change it on mileage. Change it based on how hard you drive, tow, or idle. One wrong oil change can do thousands of dollars in damage over time. Mistake number 6, neglecting the fuel filter. Your diesel fuel filter is your engine's first line of defense against contaminants like water, dirt, and microbial growth in diesel fuel. It plays a critical role in preventing injector damage and poor combustion. But if you delay replacing it, the filter gets clogged and restricts fuel flow, which may cause poor performance, hard starts, and even stalling. Worse, contaminated fuel can permanently damage high-pressure fuel injection systems, which are very costly to repair. Replace your filter at the intervals recommended by your manufacturer, or sooner if you drive in areas with poor quality diesel. It's one of the cheapest ways to protect a very expensive engine. Mistake number 5, letting the fuel run low. Diesel engines depend on consistent fuel pressure to function efficiently. Running the tank too low causes the fuel pump to suck in air, which can introduce bubbles into the fuel system. This results in rough idling, hard starts, and even total engine stalling. But the problem goes beyond just performance issues. Modern diesel fuel pumps and injectors also depend on diesel fuel for both lubrication and cooling. Running low puts these components under extra stress, accelerating wear and leading to costly repairs. Additionally, the bottom of the fuel tank tends to collect sediment and sludge, which gets drawn into the system when fuel levels are low. This clogs fuel filters and can even damage high-pressure components. Keeping your tank a more than a quarter full ensures constant pressure, stable fuel delivery, and better filtration. It's a simple habit that prevents big problems. Mistake number 4, driving at low RPMs all the time. Many diesel owners believe that driving at low RPMs saves fuel, but in reality, lugging the engine can do more harm than good. Driving in a gear that's too high for your speed causes the engine to struggle under load, increasing vibration and internal stress. It also reduces turbo response and increases carbon buildup, which means your engine runs dirtier and less efficiently. Diesel engines are most efficient in their torque band, typically between 1,500 and 2,500 RPM. Don't be afraid to downshift and let your engine breathe properly. Smooth power beats low RPM strain every time. Mistake number 3, shutting down immediately after heavy driving. Your turbocharger spins at over 100,000 RPM and can get extremely hot after hauling or highway driving. If you shut off the engine immediately after a hard run, you're cutting off the oil supply to a red-hot turbo. That causes a phenomenon known as turbo coking, where oil burns and leaves behind crusty carbon deposits. These deposits damage turbo bearings and eventually lead to total turbo failure. And trust me, replacing a turbo isn't cheap. Instead, let the engine idle for 1 to 2 minutes to cool the turbo down and keep the oil circulating. That small pause can save you thousands and protect your diesel's performance in the long run. Mistake number 2, overloading the vehicle. Diesel engines are designed for heavy-duty work, but even they have limits. Constantly overloading your vehicle beyond its gross vehicle weight rating or towing past its limit puts massive strain on the engine, transmission, cooling system, and suspension. This strain increases cylinder pressures and exhaust temperatures, leading to blown head gaskets, warped heads, or cracked pistons. Your transmission also works harder, increasing the chance of overheating or slippage. Even your brakes and tires suffer. Over time, your engine starts running hotter and wears faster. Know your truck's limits and don't treat it like an 18-wheeler unless it was designed to be one. Mistake number 1, ignoring check engine lights and warning signs. Diesel engines often provide early warning signs when something's going wrong. Whether it's the check engine light, excessive smoke, unusual noises, or poor performance, these are all signals that shouldn't be ignored. Many drivers delay diagnostics thinking it's just a sensor or minor issue, but these small problems can snowball quickly, like an EGR valve sticking open, which causes extra soot and kills the turbo, or low fuel pressure warning, which means injectors are at risk. Investing in an OBD2 scanner and scanning the code right away can help catch problems before they cost thousands. Diesel engines are expensive. That's why don't treat them casually. That's all for this video. Most drivers ruin their diesel engines without even realizing it. But now that you know these habits, you've got the power to reverse the damage and add years to your engine's life. See you in the new video.